Hello, my pot stickers. Do you hate Brussels sprouts? I hope by the end of this video I can change your mind. Take a look at this. I was at the store the other day and they had the most beautiful, large, fresh Brussels sprouts that I've ever seen, and I knew that I just had to go home with some. Now personally, I love Brussels sprouts many different ways. They could be shaved raw in salads, or they could be roasted until they're crispy and sweet and delicious, or like I'm going to show you here, baked into a creamy casserole. Here's a little tip if you ever get up to my neck of the woods. We don't call this a casserole. Up here we call this hot dish. To prepare the Brussels sprouts, just cut off a bit of the stem end. This is going to let you peel off that outer layer of leaves, and you don't have to do any washing for this. Inside they're nice and clean. I'm going to cut these lengthwise into quarters so they're just the right size for a nice bite. Also, finely chop up one medium onion and dice a large potato. I'm cutting this potato into pretty small cubes because I want them to sort of blend into the sauce as the casserole bakes. I'm also going to add some chopped garlic, about 2 cloves worth. I tend to buy large quantities of garlic when it's fresh, and before it goes bad, I'll chop it up and freeze it so that I'll always have it ready in the freezer. I just break off a chunk from the Ziploc bag and throw it into my dishes. Now that the vegetables are ready, let's get on with the cheese sauce. I'm going to start this sauce with a roux. In a saucepan over medium heat, I'm melting 5 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add equal parts flour, so to that goes in 5 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to stir this and cook it just until the raw flour taste is gone, but not until it turns brown. I don't want a brown casserole. I want to try to keep it as light as possible in color. You'll know it's ready when you just start to smell that toasty flour aroma coming out of the pan. At that point, add in some plant-based milk. I'm using in total about 3 cups of milk, but I'm adding it in portions and stirring well to mix up that roux and thicken it. Whisk this and cook it for a few minutes until it bubbles up and thickens. I'm seasoning it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm making a little bit more cheese flavor in it by adding a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Using a whisk, stir this well and cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once it's all bubbly and thick, turn off the heat and add in a couple cups of your favorite vegan shredded cheese. I happen to be using Violife cheddar cheese. And before I assemble my casserole, I want to soften my vegetables by sauteing them in a pan first. So we're going to start with a large saute pan, a little bit of oil, and we're going to start sweating down our onions. I'm seasoning this with a bit of salt and pepper as I go. Once they start to soften, add in your potatoes. After 3 to 4 minutes, toss in your Brussels sprouts and give that a good stir. I don't want this to burn, so I'm adding a little splash of water, and I'm going to cover this and let it steam together for 3 to 4 minutes. I'm looking to just soften the vegetables a little bit and not cook them fully because they're going to be cooking for a while in the oven, and I don't want them to be overcooked. After those vegetables have steamed and have started to become tender, turn off the heat, add in your sauce, mix it really well. At this point you might want to taste it and adjust your seasonings to make sure it's salty enough for you. Mine is perfect, so I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm putting everything into a baking dish that's large enough to hold it. Today I'm using a wider rectangular shaped baking dish because I want a lot of surface area because I'm going to put on a crispy topping. Here's that topping. I'm just going to sprinkle on a little bit more cheese, just a little bit because I don't want it too cheesy on the top, and then I'm going to cover it liberally with panko breadcrumbs. Pop this into an oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for about 30 to 40 minutes until the casserole is all bubbly and the top is browned and crispy. Let this cool and set up for about 5 minutes and then serve it up and enjoy. I can't say that this dish is the most beautiful looking thing that you've seen on a plate, but I guarantee the flavors are amazing. It is creamy decadence with the sweet onions and potatoes and the flavor of the sprouts that also becomes soft and creamy when it's cooked in the oven. That's combined with that crunch of the crispy topping with those breadcrumbs. Yum! This was so delicious I couldn't stop eating it. I actually went back for 3 servings. Well, thank you my pot stickers for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and go check out some of the other recipe videos I have on this channel. I'll see you next time on The Pot Thickens.